everybody, it's Imperfect Lioness, also known as Jordy. Just gonna show off a few things to you, mostly because it's like almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm got insomnia and I just feel like showing off. So, and I'm also probably going to start recording a lot of the stuff that I do, a lot of stuff I make, so you can see how it's made and, you know, just have fun watching, you know, because there's a lot of us creative people out there. Some of us show it, some of us don't. I make all sorts of jewelry. I love to make jewelry. And lately I've been making an awful lot of cannabis themed things because I, after all, live in Oregon. And it's a big deal. Cannabis stuff is kind of a big deal around here. So I've been making some stuff that's been more cannabis themed. Well, let me show you here a pair of earrings that I recently made. Like so. Now these are, you know, the pot themed earrings. Now when I do shut off, if I put them underneath light, let me turn it over here, there. When I put it underneath light, and like a UV light especially, or if I have them out in the sunshine, and I come back into a room that's darker and everything, these glow like you would not believe. They really glow. So I've been making a few of these, trying to perfect technique and everything, and they still have a few bubbles here and there. But they're fun to make. They are made from this particular mold. So I'll explain something about the difference in molds here in just a moment. But I want to show you, you know, one of the other pairs that I made from it. And if I get them the right way so you can see them the right way. These came out really well. They are, of course, my favorite colors. So it's got purple, pink, and that vibrant blue that I've got. And these are gorgeous when they're out in the sun and go into a dark room too. They glow very, very pretty. So if you're a cannabis lover, these things can be made. Now I also make other stuff, which I will show you here. I have bezels that I love to fill in, create, and someone likes seahorses. Someone who I know likes seahorses quite a bit. So here are the little seahorses made with some abalone shell, a little bit of colored resin, and clear resin also. So if I get them closer, they just don't focus. This camera does not like me. But if I try and get them a little closer, I wonder if it'll... Nope, doesn't really want to, but you can kind of see what they're like. They're kind of cute. So those are the seahorses. I think my favorite, though, is, so far anyway, is the whales little whales that I made. These whales. So, and those two have mother of pearl in them. They're a dyed mother of pearl, so they're kind of a bluish purple color. And then there are, if you think there's some bubbles in there, you are right. Those are little acrylic bubbles that I put in with it. So those are the whales. And then I also had something with the seashells that I made using those little bubbles. And if I can get them on my hand, there. Yeah, there's the ones with just regular sand resin and the little acrylic bubbles. And with these, it was great. If any bubbles showed up, it was just part of the design. Because that's a problem that you can have with resin from time to time. It can get bubbles in it. And I still do have quite a few problems with bubbles. I not only use, those were all created with UV resin. So that's ultraviolet resin. And works great in the sunshine to cure it or underneath a sun lamp. And you will see me do something here in just a bit with all of that. I'm going to make more of those cannabis themed earrings with just different colors than I've used on the other two. And then of course I also made these earrings, which basically is the black resin done with the one-on-one resin that I have. And then the indentation has chrome, kind of silver chrome, and then a little bit of green on there. So, and basically whatever I create, I just kind of create in the moment. I've created other things. Like for instance, I have coasters that I've made, like this one for instance, with chromed on the side and all of that as well. So I've made that. This I made for my dad so that he would have a coaster in his general vicinity. So that's on his side. And then probably my favorites that I've made have been shaker coasters. And it's a coaster you can still sit stuff down on, but you've got a little bit of a pane of acrylic on the top, and it holds all that stuff in there. And this of course has a beach theme. Inside it are little beads that have letters on them that just simply spell out beach. But you know, I can make things like this too. If somebody ever wanted a set, all you'd have to do is let me know and I could probably make them for you. They're fun. They are a lot of fun to make. So I'll get that out of the way because we do want to make something with this. I want to show you how I do it. So give me just a moment here to get everything set up, which for you would only be a couple of seconds. And we will get started. And I'll show you how it's done. Hello! Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started on these earrings here. I've got my whole setup going on. I've got my colors, which is the green, yellow, and red, typical Rasta colors. And I'm just using regular UV resin. And what happens is I use a heat lamp, or not a heat lamp, but it's a UV lamp that I use. And there, of course, is the wonderful little mold that is transparent. You can't use a mold that's opaque, you know, like a solid color. Otherwise, when you put the UV lamp on it, it's not going to cure properly. So that's why molds have to be transparent to use UV resin with them. So as I go ahead and I put in the colors, I start with the green first because, you know, green tends to be more of a dominant color when you look at a lot of stuff. If you go into a cannabis shop, you know, a lot of times they have green, yellow, and red. Green tends to be more of the dominant color. But what I do when I put this in is I try to make sure that all parts that I'm putting it into are covered, and I try and get rid of bubbles in there because bubbles can be a real problem with resin, whether it's regular resin or UV. Now, I'm just going to put in a little bit of each of the red and the yellow in this case. And of course, I do have this sped up so it doesn't take nearly as long for you to see it done. And if you hear any noise in the background, of course, you're going to hear Ziggy and you're going to hear the dog if she starts barking. But all right. And then in time for the red. And the red, this particular one, the red comes out so vibrant. And it really is a nice color. When and now these are glow in the dark, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but these are glow in the dark UV resins. Actually, I put some glow in the dark powder with the UV resin. But and what's really cool about it, oh, by the way, I sprayed some alcohol on it to get rid of more bubbles. But what the great thing is about it is after you go ahead and get it cured or you have it out in the sunshine, it really does glow very well, which you will see here in just a bit. But with the UV lamp, which is what that is a little UV lamp, very similar to what you would use for nails. If you were getting like gel nails put on, if you're, you know, into that. But yeah, so right now it is cured on one side and I have to turn it over and cure it on the other side because, you know, as a transparent mold, you want to make sure, you know, that you're getting all sides of it with the UV lamp. Otherwise, it's not going to cure properly and you're going to have some wet spots in the resin when you try and take it out. So, of course, this is sped up too. But it doesn't take very long. Usually it takes about a couple minutes to start the curing process on it. So getting it out of this mold, it isn't too hard, but yeah, that's what it looks like right there. Let me turn that over for you. Yep. I typically would use that side of it, but what I also do is I paint the sides around the edge there with a paint, a chromium paint. Now, like I said, this is glow in the dark. There you go. So it is glow in the dark, and it comes out pretty nice. Harder to see on the camera because you're not really seeing the yellow on this, but it really does glow well, so that if you walk into a darker area after being out in the sun for a while, people will notice them. So, but like I said, I do paint the edges of this with a, depending on the colors that I'm using, it's either a gold chromium or silver. With those, I would choose gold. And so this is what the earrings look like after I get them all put together, including the chrome pen around the outside. Now these aren't the ones that I had made earlier, but they're very, very similar. So same colors. But you kind of see how they come out. And earlier you saw how they glow. So they're just really a lot of fun to make. So, I plan to make an awful lot more stuff. I do other kinds of artwork with the resin, but I also do a lot of stuff with beads. And when I can, I'm going to be getting back into using precious metal clays. Right now, I'm probably going to work more with bronze because that's a lot more affordable right now than using either silver and definitely not gold. The gold metal clay for 3 grams of gold metal clay is about $300. So not gonna do it. So anyway, this is what they look like. And I will have more projects I'm going to be showing coming up here on my channel. So please hit the like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe. Why not? You're here. Might as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching it. Hopefully it wasn't too long for you. And I will be back again in the future with more crafty lioness things. So take care. God bless. Bye.